Alright bags, it's Jade, welcome to another Grounded video. It's only yesterday I was speaking about potentially getting news about 1.0 release date for Grounded coming in Sunday. In fact, I've mentioned this a couple times over the last couple of weeks. It does look likely we're going to get some sort of Grounded information this Sunday at the Xbox Bethesda Showcase, all part of the Summerfest. Now that Summerfest is kicking off in literally an hour, and then Sunday's the bigger one from Xbox Bethesda. Of course, Xbox own Obsidian, and so that's why we're assuming we might get the 1.0 release date for Grounded, as it's one of the few games that might potentially release in the next 6 months for Xbox. Now there's been a bunch of different leaks coming out in the last few days though that suggest that possibly Grounded might release a bit sooner than I anticipate. Again, it's hard to predict, but a few weeks ago, probably over a month ago now nearly, I did say that I thought maybe Grounded would release in August. Just after their 2-year anniversary, I could see that as something doable. Of course, we've had Adam Brennicky talking about the updates for the game, suggesting that we are going to see a few more updates before the full release. And they're not going to be big chunky updates, adding a whole bunch of stuff. They've said it's going to be small. This has been going on since literally last year. Larger and slightly less frequent updates every 3 months. And that's what they've kind of stuck to. Every 3.5 months, they've released updates, giving us a whole bunch of content. But a Reddit post that lifted directly from 4chan, which isn't the best source of information, but I am going to address it because a couple of you guys have told me about this. Also that another YouTuber, Juicehead, also mentioned the possibility of Grounded coming out in August. But here we go. Supposedly this is from someone that works for Obsidian. Got some great news for everyone who plays an Xbox PC. Avowed will launch around holiday season this year. We're pretty excited since this is the game from the studio we work at as longest development line, with 5 years when it launches and the biggest budget. I warn you, the map will be a little bit smaller than Skyrim, but it'll have more dungeons, caves and ruins to explore. There are some underground cities. Also, I confirm to you that Pentiment, Josh Sawyer's Disco Elysium, will probably launch this year too. And Grounded 1.0 will launch in August too. So immediately, if you go through down here, you just get a bunch of people dismissing it. And I have to say, I kind of agree. For starters, Avowed, we haven't seen a single thing other than a CGI trailer nearly 2 years ago. Alongside Ark 2, they were the two standout games that I thought could have real potential. So for them to go from having a CGI trailer only to then suddenly releasing in the next 4 to 5 months, I just don't buy it one single bit. But Grounded 1.0 in August? Well, maybe. Again, just using the thumbnails from my videos as a basis, we know there's potentially 6 new biomes or locations to be worked on, 7 if you include the porch. We know there's a whole host of brand new creatures coming to the game as well. The Black Ant Queen, potentially a Mantis boss, as well as something either to do with dragonflies or butterflies, and a whole bunch of other creatures. Now, as far as I'm aware, going by what the Grounded devs have said in the past, all of that stuff won't hit actually early access now until 1.0. They did say a few months ago not to expect any big updates, so everyone was a bit surprised to see the brand new upper yard environment kind of implemented. But I think that's potentially just a early draft, hence why it still says it's under construction and why there isn't too many bugs up there. Clearly that area will have maybe some new bugs, I think, and I've got a long way to go to add all the areas around it. But yeah, so we may see changes to the yard, but we won't see them complete. We may see some sort of environments added, but they're not going to have the dungeons, they're not going to have the bugs. It will simply still list it as kind of being off limits. So can they really get all that done in what would amount to be in 2 months' time? We know they've been working on other stuff in the background, and we know they've got outside help from other studios. Black Shamrock are Irish developers, and they're the guys that actually made a lot of the assets, creatures, items, tools and weapons for the Pond update way back. As far as I know, they're still working with Obsidian. This can all be found on their ArtStation, and I will be taking a look at some of this stuff in future videos. So it's possible that they're still enlisting outside help to finish off some of the areas, while they carry on working on the core mechanics. But I think it's fair to say the latest Bug Strikes Back update definitely needs a little bit more work and polish. They've said they're going to go over the feedback and they're going to be implementing a raft of changes and new stuff. So to get all of that done, even with help from another studio, I just don't think it's really possible in the next 2 months. They did and have said a couple times they have worked on a bunch of stuff we just never have seen or heard about, but I still think it would be a lot to get all that done by August. And given Adam has only mentioned last week on the Casually Grounded that we are still going to see a couple of updates, adding polish, maybe some new mechanics and systems into the game, then yeah, I just don't no longer see August as a viable date. Given the lack of games releasing during the holiday season, if we take the avowed rumour as kind of not true, I think Grounded could be made a big spotlight game for Xbox. It's already got 10 million players via Games Pass, but of course they will now have more room to show stuff off since Starfield isn't coming out till next year, nor is Redfall. So that means they could get behind Grounded in a big way. They may decide to chuck some money at it in the last few months again, just to help make sure everything's as smooth as it can be for its launch. And I'm sure they'll spend probably a lot more on marketing than they originally were going to. There is still a bunch of people that have never played Grounded, especially on Steam, which is still a fairly big market, and Grounded's never took off as maybe some of the other survival games on that platform. It had good numbers at the start, but it's dripped down to only 1,000 to 2,000 players concurrently. But chances are they probably have hit close to 1 million sales, as it tallies up in terms of the amount of players to other games that have revealed that they've sold 1 million. So yeah, just some things to bear in mind as I go through all of this art and stuff, which I found all over ArtStation. So no, I don't think necessarily Grounded's going to be coming out to August. I think these kinds of leaks here, they just don't have enough with them to make them concurrent and good. And I think in 2 days' time, we may find out. The other thing though is that maybe we don't get a release date in 2 days' time, and instead it might just be a little teaser for what's coming next. Maybe they do want to add just one more update, maybe in July to celebrate its 2-year birthday. Grounded have shown off a bunch of stuff at the Summerfest before. It was the Doom and Shroom update last year, and I'm pretty sure they maybe even announced the game properly or gave like a release date or demo for it the year before. So yes, I am going to say I don't think Grounded will come out until October now. I think given what else is releasing, unless there is any changes going around, that's when I expect to see the full release. If we go by the 3-month cadence for updates, then the next update should be in August, and that will be the last major update before full release in October. And if they really are doing 3 months between each update, it could even be November that we see Grounded. But I think October would be a good time. Here in the UK and a lot of Europe places, that's when a lot of kids have a week off school. So yeah, I do think it's pretty viable that that's the window they'll be aiming for. So yes, I will be there. I'm streaming this summer festival literally in just an hour. Come and check my channel out, JPG. That's my main survival channel with nearly 175,000 subscribers. We're doing it with my good friend Raz. We'll be taking a look at Nightingale, Witchfire, and a bunch of other games, hopefully. And yeah, Sunday's the big one. I'll be streaming the Xbox Bethesda showcase on Sunday here on my main channel. And of course, I'll deliver any kind of news about Grounded immediately straight after to the second channel, JCraft. And that's it. Until next time, Ratbags, I'll catch you later.